to say we're going to just rotate everybody throughout the deal. They've got their positions, they've got the plan in case something happens, right? The contingency, but that whole group is getting better and better and better, and it's fun to watch them play right now.
What is Julian giving you at left tackle there, and what kind of skill set does he have that makes him an ideal fit there?
Well, a couple things with Julian is we've challenged him quite a bit to become the leader, up there, like kind of like Vidarian was, and he was a young player that was very talented that was playing on the line with Doug Kramer, Palcho, Vidarian, right, and he never had to be thrust into that role. Now he is a veteran player, he's an older guy. That needs to kind of take on that, and we've challenged him to do that over the course of the summer. And really, honestly, the first 2 days I was not pleased with him in camp, but then he's turned it on and has really played well, practiced well, moving around, and worked on some of his technique flaws from last season. You guys could probably point those out, and he's really worked on those. So it's fun to see him grow and mature in that light. He is playing at a high level right now. He's incredibly athletic. He's got great length. All the measurables are all there, and now obviously he's had 1 year of experience, but that is an area probably of his greatest weakness is his lack of total experience. Playing only 1 year, so some of the situations and things he's becoming more and more comfortable with, and really playing like a veteran guy right now.
Brett had said the only person who can hold Julian back is Julian. I'm assuming you guys have had conversations about what do you think he means by that?
I think he has the skill set and the talent to take this game as far as he wants to take it, and that's the exciting part for us as coaches is you see this basically unlimited potential, and but potential doesn't mean anything without action, right? Without the get out there to put the work in to realize that potential. And so that's really what we're talking about with him is he is so gifted. He's a great locker room presence. He's an asset to our line, to our team, and he needs to continue to play that way, and he really has this camp. I don't want to take anything away from the work he's done because he's really performed very well.
Are you still trying to experiment with Jordan at center, or has Cruz kind of established himself as a better option there?
That's a good question. We are. They're both getting reps. Josh is getting probably the most reps there. Jordan Ellis is still, playing and working with the ones at the guard spot and things like that. So, there's a lot of movement and things with that second group and trying to get guys able in case something happens, right? In case there's something that we need to be able to do because we got some young guys that can play center, but certainly not probably ready to put them in a Big Ten environment right now, Big Ten game right now.
Coach, seems like there's been
you know Barry or know of him before you?
I knew of Barry. I knew, and I followed kind of Brett and his staff, Coach B and his staff at Arkansas, and so I knew kind of him, and we all come from kind of this same tree, right? And some of the guys that I've worked with were with him at Arkansas, and close friends of mine. So as soon as the hire was made, certainly knew about what he was doing at UTSA. I mean, UTSA had an unbelievable year last year, and offensively we're setting the world on fire and doing some great things. So when I knew of him, when he was hired, numerous people reached out to me to kind of sing his praises. People I trust. So it was great.
And getting a chance to work with him the last 7 months or so, what have you learned kind of about him as a coach, as a coordinator?
Great, good teacher, great leader of the staff, leader of the offense. Incredibly smart and very creative, and pushes us out of our comfort zone, pushes the offense, and really sets this thing alive. So he's been great for our program.
Seems like there's been a position battle at guard throughout the first week of camp. Is that with Zach Chrysler, Jordan Slaughter, Isaiah Adams? Has that been settled yet, or is it still a battle going on?
Yeah, still a battle. We're getting closer and closer. We're not ready to put anything in cement yet, but we're also not just kind of opening it up either. So things are starting to solidify themselves as we get closer and closer. But guys got to be ready to play. We last year, if you remember, we needed 8 guys at least, I think, to play, and that's going to be probably the case every year. Is you're going to need guys because things are going to happen, right? Somebody's going to get rolled up. Somebody's going to, have to miss a series here or there. Hopefully, that's all it is. But guys got to be ready to go in a variety of positions. But yeah, we're repping those guys there, and we're excited with where they're headed. Absolutely.
Are there any of the true freshmen who came in looking like they could contribute early on?
It's a good question. With the way the NCAA does this 4-game thing now, we'd like to get a couple guys, some game reps before the red shirt takes place. So that's a great tool that we can use, and hopefully we are able to use that. But there's guys that are working up there with the second group and trying to get as many reps as they can, right? And we have development periods that our guys, maybe guys that aren't on the first team get to go through and get some real life situational work, not just individual work. So there's about a handful of guys going through that right now as well.
And it looks like you're recruiting kids who come from solid high school programs with good strength programs. Is that by design?
Yeah, and not to say there's not good players at maybe non-winning programs, but winning is you have to learn, you have to know how to win, and you go to programs that have had a lot of success, and there's a handful of them, too many to really list, but a lot of those kids on our team are from winning programs, and so they know the commitment that it takes, they know the determination that it takes, and that winning culture, and that's absolutely what you look for, So that's certainly part of our recruiting philosophy.
In your eyes, what did Pill do, over the summer or in this camp to kind of set himself apart and make it, at least give you comfort at that center spot?
Pill has really improved his consistency, and all along, and Josh too, to his credit, right? All along, we knew there was talent there at both Alex and Josh. Those guys have all had the talent. They've been able to play some. Cruz played a little bit as a freshman, and it was all a matter of consistency with their snaps, their calls. Taking over for a player of Doug's caliber, right, and what he brought us, not only just his physical play, but the mental side of the game, the experience, the preparation, setting the offense up for calls and things. That's a hard act to follow, and when you've never had to do that before. And we kind of thrusted those guys into that role. So just learning the offense, being comfortable and confident to go out on a limb, for lack of a better term, and make that ID. I mean, you are in charge of what's up there, and so having the confidence to do that, the consistency to do that. He's really grown in that light. So that's what we've seen. He's got a great camp. He's playing at a high level. He's consistent, and we're happy with where the direction of that position is headed.
Varying degrees of in-game experience for the redshirt freshmen last season, but what's the big thing that they can take from last year and through an off season and now as they go into the second year?
You talking about the redshirt freshman? The redshirt, probably just how to prepare for the season, how to prepare for the game week. Like last year, they were, kind of keeping their head above water, treading water. They'd be on the scout team, we'd pull them up. Hey, you're traveling this weekend. What that really means, right? How do you prepare from, Sunday's, day of recovery and learning the kind of the intro to the next week's opponent, to Monday's recovery day, off day, but utilizing that off day, right? It's not just a chance to hang out at the dorms or go to the pool or something, right? You're in there working, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, right? Those days and those practice days, what we're working with the blitz pickup stuff, right? And just preparing yourself, I think, is probably the biggest maybe hurdle and change for young players that realizing how much really goes into this, right? You don't just show up on Friday nights anymore and play, right? I mean, there's a whole week of preparation that goes into it.
With Zai, obviously a lot of people were interested in him. Do you remember where you were or what the reaction was when you got the word?
When I got him? I don't remember exactly where I was. It was in January. We were recruiting, and I think Coach B came in and said, "You're going to be happy about this one," and because he had gotten the call, I think so. Certainly a great addition to our program, great addition to the line. He fits in great. He's got a great personality. He's a heck of a football player, so I'm excited to see where he goes.
Last fall, we kept hearing about maintenance days, whether it was Paucho or after Doug got rolled up, kind of a deal. Have you been doing that in fall camp, or has everybody kind of been good?
Not really. We're going full tilt. Let's go. So that's been nice. That's I think a reason with Paucho how well he's played this fall is he's gotten a chance. He doesn't have to kind of break that momentum. He's able to be on a day and then continue moving forward. And we do have depth this year, right? We've got 18 guys in camp right now, so we're able to get some rotation going and maybe save some legs where maybe in the past we haven't been able to do that.
How can you keep Matt involved, even though he's not here, he's on the roster? How can you keep him involved before he gets here?
That's a good question, and to be honest, right now in camp, he really hasn't been because we've been so busy. But in the summer, reaching out to him and making sure everything's good to go there. I've sent him some notes and install notes and things like that, and then he'll be here before you know it, early this week as school starts. So, just kind of trying to touch base with him and make sure everything's good to go. But admittedly, in camp, our attention has been on the guys that are here.
Maybe an ignorant question, but as you solidify the starting lineup, how do you decide who's right and left guards? Or is a guard a guard, or is there
Well,
specificity to that?
That's a good question. Usually, when it first starts, there's a little bit of does he have experience at one side or the other, maybe more than the other? Is there anything mentally that could affect him to become his best? And so we want to put the guy in the position to play at his very best. And so, maybe he's more comfortable on the left side because that's where he's played, right? Or maybe he hasn't played a lot of left, and all his reps have been at right? Like Zai's had a lot of equity at the right guard spot, right? So I didn't want to feel like a young guy coming in or maybe a rookie guy coming in, newcomer. If I want to bump him around a lot, I want to get him comfortable in one situation. So there's a lot that goes into the decision of where you're playing on the line because they're not necessarily interchangeable, but we do cross-train guys. So and there has to be some element of the ability to do that.
With Julian, I think there was maybe some thought about continuity of one position, being right guard. Was that the movement? Was that strictly Palcho's back, or was that like his skills really translated to left guard?
Last year, you talking
Well,
about?
just like to move him over there now, like was Palcho's back? Was that kind of preempt that move, or was his skills just like we got to get him?
Julian at left guard.
Julian at left guard. Or left tackle. I'm sorry.
Oh, left tackle.
Sorry.
Oh, no, yeah. It was more Palcho's back, and he's got 4 years and however billion starts he's got. In the history of college football, I should know that, but it's more that we have so much equity there, and Julian's very athletic, and he played there both sides last year. He was a dual swing guy last year, so that made the switch kind of easy there.
First thing you got to do is get the ball to the quarterback, right? So how are these guys coming along with snapping the ball?
We had a bad day yesterday. I'll admit that. We got after them, and we were perfect today. So it's a measure of consistency, and they can do it. They've had a pretty good camp with that. We had a few errant ones yesterday, which was uncharacteristic of what camp's been. So we've had a good camp with that, and you just got to keep building on that.
Does your new special teams coach help the centers with that stuff?
No, he is no. Coach Snyder's a great coach, but he doesn't coach the centers. The centers are with me.
Gotcha. One last. Is the barge formation still in the play?
We'll see. I don't know. I can't comment on that one. We'll see. We'll see what we pull out our bag of tricks.